After meeting my parents in their modest home, my girlfriend dumped me saying, "I can't marry into poverty." She didn't know my parents were millionaires who live frugally. When she saw my inheritance news, she tried to call back, but I, 29 male, got dumped 3 weeks ago in the most brutal way possible. Still processing it to Bush, but figured writing this out might help. My ex-girlfriend, 27, and I had been together for almost 2 years. Things were good, or so I thought. We lived separately but spent most weekends together. She worked in marketing, I'm in software development. Both of us pulled decent salaries, split dates pretty evenly, normal relationship stuff. About 4 months ago, she started dropping hints about meeting my parents. Heavy hints, like, "When am I finally gonna meet the people who raised you?" And 2 years is a long time to not meet the family. I'd been putting it off, not because I was ashamed of my parents or anything, but because, well, they're different. And I knew she might not get it. My parents are both in their early 60s, retired early from their respective careers in accounting and nursing. They live in a small 3-bedroom ranch house they bought in the 80s. Still drive a 2008 sedan that runs perfectly fine. My mother clips coupons religiously. My father wears the same flannel shirts he's had for 15 years. They shop at discount grocery stores, fix things instead of replacing them, and think eating out more than once a month is excessive. To look at them, you'd think they were scraping by on Social Security. The reality? My parents are worth about $8.7 million. They saved aggressively their entire working lives, invested smart, lived way below their means. The house is paid off, no debt anywhere, and they could afford pretty much anything they wanted. They just don't want anything. They're genuinely happy with their simple life. Gardening, reading library books, playing cards with their neighbors. I grew up the same way. Normal public schools, no designer clothes, used cars when I turned 16. Didn't realize we were actually wealthy until I was in college, and my dad casually mentioned their retirement portfolio during a financial aid conversation. Blew my mind. They raised me with the same values. Save more than you spend, appreciate what you have, don't flash money around like an idiot. I make good money now but live pretty modestly. Nice apartment, nothing crazy. Reliable car, not flashy. Most people would never guess my background. So when my girlfriend kept pushing to meet them, I finally caved. Drove her out to their place on a Sunday afternoon in early October. The visit was uncomfortable. She kept making these faces when my mother served homemade iced tea in mismatched glasses, when my father showed her his vegetable garden and talked about saving on groceries, when we ate dinner off plates that were clearly from the 70s. "Your bathroom only has one sink," she whispered to me when we were alone for a second. "Yeah, it's a small house. And that couch, how old is that thing?" "I don't know, maybe 20 years, it's comfortable." She didn't say much the rest of the visit, just smiled tightly and checked her phone a lot. On the drive back, she was quiet. I knew something was wrong, but figured we'd talk about it later. We didn't make it home. She asked me to pull over at a coffee shop parking lot about halfway back. I thought maybe she needed caffeine or wanted to talk about the weird vibe. Instead, she turned to me with this serious look. "I need to be honest with you," she started. "Today was really eye-opening. Okay? Your parents are sweet people, but I can't do this." My stomach dropped. "Do what?" "This relationship. I thought you came from more. I didn't realize your family was struggling like that." I actually laughed. Couldn't help it. Struggling? My parents aren't struggling. "Babe, come on. That house, the furniture, your dad's clothes, I'm not judging them, but I need to be realistic about my future. I can't marry into poverty. I want kids someday and I need to know they'll be provided for." "My parents aren't poor," I said slowly. "They just live simply." "Right, because they have to. Look, I know you're defensive about this, but I saw what I saw, and I've been thinking, you're the same way, aren't you? Always suggesting we cook at home instead of trying new restaurants. Never wanting to upgrade your car even though you can afford payments. That ratty old backpack you refuse to replace. Those are choices, not necessities. Choices born from growing up without much," she said, like she was explaining something to a child. "I get it, but I grew up differently. I'm used to a certain lifestyle. My parents gave me that, and I want to give it to my future family. You're a great guy, but we're just incompatible. Long term. I sat there, genuinely stunned. 2 years. 2 whole years together, and she was dumping me in a parking lot because my parents' house wasn't impressive enough. So that's it? You're breaking up with me because my parents don't have granite countertops? Don't be reductive. This is about values and lifestyle compatibility. I need someone who shares my vision for the future, someone who can provide the life I want. I'm sorry, but this isn't it. She got out of my car, called a rideshare, and left me sitting there. I drove home in a daze. Didn't cry, didn't rage, just felt numb. And honestly, a little insulted. She judged my entire family based on their furniture, blocked her number that night, blocked her on everything. Figured if she was that shallow, I dodged a bullet. That was 3 weeks ago. Update 1. So, things got interesting. Last week, my father's brother passed away. Not unexpected, he'd been sick for a while. Sad, but he was in his 70s and had lived a full life. My father was the executor of his estate. Uncle was my dad's older brother, never married, no kids, lived even more frugally than my parents, if you can believe it. Worked as a mechanical engineer for 40 years, saved everything, invested in real estate back in the 90s, smart guy. His will left everything to my father, who immediately split it with me. Said he and my mother didn't need it, wanted me to have it for my future. The amount? $4.2 million, half of Uncle's estate. Just boom. In my account after all the legal stuff cleared. Combined with my own savings and investments, I'm sitting on about $4.6 million now, at 29 years old. I'm still working because I like my job and don't want to blow it all, but yeah, life-changing money. The local newspaper ran a small obituary that mentioned the estate distribution, not like a front-page thing, just in the legal notices section where they list will probates. Standard stuff. Apparently, my ex-girlfriend's mother reads those notices religiously. Looking for gossip, I guess. 3 days after it published, I got a text from an unknown number. Hey, it's me. I know you blocked me, but I'm texting from my friend's phone. Can we talk? Please? I made a huge mistake. I didn't respond, blocked that number too. 2 hours later, different number. I know you're seeing these. I'm so sorry about everything. I was scared and said stupid things. I miss you. Can we at least meet for coffee? Blocked. Then my work email got one. She must have Googled my company and found my contact. I understand you're hurt, but we had something real. 2 years means something. I was wrong about your parents. Your mom called mine and explained some things. I judged too quickly. Let me make it right. My mother did what now? Called my mom immediately. Did you call my ex-girlfriend's mother? Oh honey, yes. She called me asking about you, said her daughter was heartbroken. I told her we were so sorry things didn't work out but you'd moved on. Was that wrong? What else did you say? Just that we raised you to be independent and that you'd be just fine in life. Why? My mother, bless her, had no idea she'd basically confirmed my financial situation to the biggest gossip in town. Nothing, Mom. It's fine. But it wasn't fine, because the texts kept coming, each one more desperate. I know about your inheritance. That doesn't change how I feel about you. I never cared about money. I just freaked out that day. I love you. Can you at least tell me you're okay? I'm worried about you. The audacity was actually impressive. Then yesterday she showed up at my apartment. Rang the buzzer for 10 minutes straight until my neighbor threatened to call the building manager. I went down to the lobby. Figured I'd tell her to leave once and be done with it. She looked rough. Hair not quite as perfect as usual, makeup a bit smudged like she'd been crying. Might have felt bad if I didn't know exactly why she was really there. Thank you for coming down, she said, tears already starting. I've been trying to reach you for days. I know, I've been blocking you. I deserve that. I was awful. The worst. I said terrible things about your family, and I've regretted it every single day since. I mean it. I was scared and stupid and I judged your parents without knowing them. Your mom sounds so sweet on the phone. I want to apologize to her too. My mom's not interested in your apology. Then just to you, please. Can we go somewhere and talk? Really talk? About what? About us, about fixing this. I know I messed up, but people make mistakes. We can work through this. You dumped me in a parking lot because you thought my family was poor. Her face crumpled. I know how that sounds, but I was just I had this picture in my head of what I wanted, and I panicked when it didn't match. But I've had time to think, and I realize none of that matters. You matter. We matter. Right? And this realization came when? Exactly? What do you mean? When did you suddenly decide I was worth another shot? Before or after you found out about my uncle's will? She had the decency to look embarrassed. That's not... I didn't know about that until a few days ago, but that's not why I'm here. Sure. It's not. I'd already been trying to reach you for over a week. Ask my friend. I borrowed her phone the day after I heard about your uncle, because I'd already been wanting to fix things. Technically possible, but I wasn't buying it. Look, I said, I appreciate you apologizing or whatever, but we're done. You made it clear what you wanted, and it wasn't me, so let's both move on. I made a mistake. You made a choice, based on my parents' couch and my dad's flannel shirts. That tells me everything I need to know about your values. People change. I've changed. In 3 weeks? Impressive. Please. She was full on crying now. People in the lobby were starting to stare. Please just give me one chance to prove I'm serious. One dinner, one conversation. That's all I'm asking. No. Why not? Because you're not sorry you judged me. You're sorry you judged wrong. Big difference. Her tears stopped. Just like that. Expression went cold. You know what? Fine. I tried to be nice about this, but you're not blameless here either. How's that? You lied to me. For 2 years, you let me think you were just some regular guy when your family is loaded. That's deceptive. I actually laughed. I never lied about anything. You made assumptions. You actively hid it. I lived my normal life. You saw how I actually live. That's not hiding anything. That's just who I am. Most people don't keep millions a secret from their partner. I didn't have millions 3 weeks ago, and my parents' money isn't mine. They earned it. They can do whatever they want with it. I never felt the need to drop their net worth into casual conversation. That's such bullshit. You knew I cared about financial stability. You cared about status symbols. Also bullshit, but different bullshit. She jabbed her finger at my chest. You're going to regret this. You're not that special. There are plenty of guys who'd treat me better. Then go find one. I will. And when you're alone and realize what you lost, don't come crawling back to me. Deal. She stormed out. I went back upstairs, honestly feeling better than I had in weeks. My neighbor caught me in the hallway. Older lady, been here forever. That your ex? Yep, she seemed lovely. We both laughed. Update 2. Hoo boy, the crazy escalated fast. So, after the lobby confrontation, I figured that was the end of it. She'd made her dramatic exit, we'd both move on, whatever. I was very wrong. First came the mutual friends. We'd accumulated several over 2 years, mostly people from her circle that I'd gotten to know. Suddenly my phone was blowing up with messages. Hey man, heard about the breakup. She's pretty torn up. You should probably call her. She really misses you. Don't you think you're being a little harsh? Everyone makes mistakes. I ignored most of them. Sent a polite, I appreciate your concern, but I'd rather not discuss it. To the ones who seemed genuinely confused rather than pushy. Then my Instagram got weird. I rarely post but have an account for keeping up with people. Suddenly got follow requests from 3 accounts I didn't recognize. All brand new, no posts, obvious fake accounts. Blocked them immediately. My ex's best friend called me directly. Now this woman never liked me even when we were dating, so this should have been my first clue. Look, I know you two broke up, but you need to be reasonable here. I don't need to be anything. She made one mistake. One. And you're throwing away 2 years like it was nothing. She dumped me in a parking lot because she didn't like my parents' house. She was overwhelmed. Meeting parents is stressful. Then she should have said that instead of calling my family poor and ending the relationship. Oh please, you're not some victim here. You clearly kept your family's money a secret on purpose. That's manipulative. This narrative was apparently making the rounds. I didn't keep anything secret. I just don't base my identity on my parents' bank account. Whatever. Point is, she's willing to forgive you for being shady about it. That's actually really big of her. The least you can do is hear her out. Pass. You're making a mistake, she's a catch, and you're not exactly drowning in options. Thanks for your input. Hung up. Blocked her too. 2 days after that, my mother called, sounding confused. Honey, I got the strangest call today. Oh no. From who? Your ex's mother. She wanted to, well, I'm not entirely sure what she wanted. What did she say? She started by apologizing for her daughter's behavior, said they raised her better than that. Then she started asking questions about our family, about you, about your prospects. That was the word she used, prospects. What did you tell her? That you were doing very well and we were proud of you. Then she asked if we'd consider talking to her daughter, maybe encouraging you to give her another chance. Said young people are so quick to throw away good relationships these days. I rubbed my temples. What did you say to that? I told her you were a grown man who could make his own decisions and we supported whatever made you happy. She seemed disappointed. Sorry you got dragged into this, Mom. Oh, I don't mind. But dear, she mentioned something about you inheriting money from your uncle. How does she know about that? The probate notices in the paper. Her mother reads them. Ah. Long pause. Honey, you don't think. Yeah, Mom. I do think. She sighed. I'm sorry. You deserved better than that. The next escalation came via my workplace. I got called into HR on a Friday afternoon. My stomach dropped. I couldn't think of anything I'd done wrong. The HR rep looked uncomfortable. We received a concerning call this morning from someone claiming to be your former domestic partner. What? She said she was worried about your mental state, that you'd recently experienced a death in the family and were making erratic financial decisions. She wanted to know if we had employee assistance resources she could share with you. I sat there genuinely speechless. She also mentioned you'd blocked her attempts to check on you, and she was concerned you might be isolating yourself in an unhealthy way. Let me be very clear, I said slowly. I broke up with someone 3 weeks ago. She's been harassing me, trying to get back together. This is her attempt to reach me through my workplace. She's not concerned about my mental health. She's mad I won't talk to her. The HR rep nodded. That was our impression as well, honestly. The call felt more inappropriate than genuinely concerned. We told her we couldn't discuss employee matters and ended the call, but I wanted to make you aware in case she escalates further. She absolutely will. Do you need resources? Restraining order paperwork? Anything like that? Not yet, but I'll keep that in mind. That evening, I came home to find a large envelope taped to my apartment door. Inside were printed copies of text conversations between me and my ex, from when we were happy, screenshots of cute photos we'd taken, a 3-page handwritten letter about all the good times and how one bad day shouldn't define us. The last page was different. It was a list. Reasons we belonged together at the top. Then, 1, we have the same sense of humor. 2, we both love trying new restaurants. 3, our families get along, they could if you'd let them. 4, we're both focused on our careers. 5, we want the same things in life. 6, we're financially compatible, obviously. 7, your parents like me. Your mom was so sweet on the phone. 8, we've already invested 2 years. 9, I know you better than anyone. 10, I love you and you love me. The obviously and multiple exclamation points really sold the authenticity of her feelings. I took photos of everything for documentation and tossed it all. Sunday morning, my doorbell rang at 8 a.m. Looked through the peephole. My ex holding a box. I didn't answer. Just watched through the peephole as she waited. Then rang again, then knocked, then finally left the box by the door and walked away. After she was gone, I grabbed it. Inside was a bunch of my stuff I'd left at her place. Hoodies, phone charger, a book I'd been reading. Normal relationship debris. Also included a framed photo of us from a trip we'd taken, a custom keychain with our initials she'd bought me as a gift, and a receipt from a jewelry store dated 4 days ago for $300. The receipt was for a men's watch, engraving included. The message was clear. I spent money on you. You owe me. I donated the clothes, tossed the photo, put the keychain in a drawer and forgot about it. Monday evening, I got home from work to find my ex sitting in the lobby of my building. Just sitting there, reading a magazine. How long have you been here? She looked up, all casual. Couple hours? I figured you'd get home around 6. You can't be here. It's a lobby, it's public. It's private property for residents and guests. I used to be a guest all the time. Maybe they remember me, she smiled. We should talk. No, I miss you. I know I keep saying it, but I do. I miss our conversations. I miss watching movies with you. I miss cooking together on Sunday mornings. You ended that in a parking lot. I panicked. Haven't you ever panicked and said something stupid? Not that stupid. Look, I get that you're mad. You have every right to be, but I'm trying to show you I'm serious. I'm putting in the effort. Doesn't that count for something? It counts as harassment. Her expression finally cracked. Harassment? I'm trying to save our relationship. We don't have a relationship. You ended it. I accepted it. That's where this story ends. It doesn't have to. Yeah, it does. Why? Because of money? Because I freaked out over something that turned out to be wrong? That's not fair. You know what's not fair? Judging someone's entire family based on their furniture. Deciding their worth based on appearance. Calling them poor like it's an insult. Then only wanting them back when you find out you miscalculated. I admitted I was wrong. You admitted you were wrong about the facts, not wrong about your values. My values? Yeah. You valued status symbols over people. You still do. You're not here because you miss me. You're here because you're embarrassed you misjudged the situation and you want to fix your mistake. That's not true. Then why now? Why not 2 weeks ago? Why did it take you finding out about my inheritance to suddenly realize you made a mistake? I tried to reach out before that. After you found out my family had money, your mom called my mom, remember? The timeline is pretty clear. She stood up, face red. You think you're so much better than me? So perfect? You're not. You're vindictive and cold, and you clearly never loved me as much as I loved you. Maybe not, but at least I loved you for you, not your bank account. Screw you. She stormed out for the second time. I went upstairs, contacted building management, and formally requested she be added to a no trespass list. They were very understanding. Update 3. Final. It's been about 6 weeks since the original breakup. Time for the final update because honestly, I need to close this chapter. After the lobby incident and the no trespass notice, things got worse before they got better. My ex started showing up at places she knew I'd be. Coffee shop I usually hit on Saturday mornings. Grocery store near my apartment. Just happened to be there, looking surprised to see me. Oh my God, hey, crazy running into you here. Not really, you're in my neighborhood. I was just in the area. Sure. This happened 3 times before I started varying my routine. Annoying as hell, but not technically illegal. Then came the social media play. She posted a long, vague status about toxic people who waste your time and learning your worth and dodging bullets. Lots of fire emojis. Her friends ate it up in the comments. I didn't respond. Didn't even look at it more than once. My best friend sent me screenshots asking if I was okay. Told him I was fine and to stop monitoring her page. Her next move was bolder. She somehow got my email address, my personal one, not work, and sent me a long message. Like essay-length. Started with apologies, moved into reminiscing about good times, then got into how she'd been doing a lot of self-reflection and working on herself. The last part was the kicker. I know I messed up. I know I judged your parents unfairly and said things I shouldn't have. But I want you to understand where I was coming from. I grew up watching my mom struggle financially after my dad left. I swore I'd never put myself in that position. When I saw your parents' house, it triggered something in me. That's not an excuse, just an explanation. I'm in therapy now working through it. My therapist thinks we should talk. She says closure is important for both of us. The manipulation was almost artistic. Playing the trauma card, name-dropping therapy, suggesting her therapist recommended contact. Spoiler, no ethical therapist would do that without my consent. I deleted it without responding. 2 days later, she tried a different angle. Mutual friend called me. One of the few I actually liked. Hey man, so this is awkward. She asked you to call me. Yeah, look, I told her I didn't want to get in the middle, but she's pretty insistent. Says you won't respond to anything and she just wants closure. She wants me back, not closure. Figured, but she's telling everyone you're being unreasonable. That she apologized and you won't even talk to her, making you look like the bad guy. Let her. You sure? Some people are buying it. The people who buy it without hearing my side are people I need in my life. Fair enough. Just wanted you to know what's being said. Appreciate it. Around this time, my mother called with news. My ex's mother had called again, this time asking if there was anything we could do to help the kids work through this rough patch. I told her you were an adult and this was your decision, my mom said. She seemed quite put out. Then she said something odd. What? She said, well, I hope he knows what he's giving up. My daughter is quite a catch and she won't wait around forever. Like it was a threat. I actually laughed. Good. Hope she finds someone who meets her standards. That's what I said. Well, not in those words. I said something like, I'm sure she'll find the right person for her. She didn't like that either. The final straw came at a friend's birthday party. I'd been debating whether to go since I knew my ex might show up. It was a mutual friend's party. Decided to go anyway because I wasn't going to hide. Sure enough, she was there. Saw me walk in, immediately made a beeline over. Can we talk? Outside? Nope. 5 minutes, please. Just 5 minutes. No. You can't avoid me forever. Not avoiding you, just declining to engage. She grabbed my arm. I need you to understand something. I pulled away. Don't touch me. People were starting to stare. The birthday guy, decent friend of mine, came over. Hey, everything cool? Yeah, we're good, my ex said quickly. Actually, no, I said. She's harassing me and I've asked her multiple times to stop. My ex's face went red. Harassing you? I'm trying to have a conversation. A conversation requires 2 willing participants. This is ridiculous. All I want is closure. You got closure in the parking lot when you dumped me. That was a mistake. Cool. I'm making the choice to not give you a second chance. That's my right. You're being petty. The birthday guy stepped in. Hey, maybe you should head out. Let him enjoy the party. Are you seriously taking his side? I'm not taking sides. I'm asking you to leave him alone at my birthday party. She looked around, realized everyone was watching, and stormed out. Again. The party was awkward after that, but whatever. I stayed for another hour, then headed home. Got a text the next day from her. You humiliated me in front of everyone. That was cruel and unnecessary. I was trying to be mature about this and you turned it into a scene. Everyone thinks you're crazy now. Hope you're happy. I blocked the number. Should have done it weeks ago, but part of me wanted to document her behavior in case I needed a restraining order. That was 2 weeks ago. Since then, radio silence. Either she finally gave up or she's planning her next move. Honestly, don't care which. As for me, I'm doing all right. Not perfect, but all right. The inheritance money is invested. I'm not touching it except for putting a chunk toward a down payment on a house. Found a nice place in a good neighborhood. My parents came to see it and my mom cried happy tears. Dad just kept saying, good bones, son, good bones. Work is going well. Got a promotion actually. Nothing to do with any of this drama, just good timing and a project that went really well. Dating? Not yet. Not really interested in jumping into anything. My trust took a hit from all this. Realizing someone you cared about only valued you for superficial reasons does a number on you. But I'm not bitter, just more careful. Next time I'll pay closer attention to how someone treats other people, not just me. How they talk about money and status and what they value. My ex taught me a valuable lesson. When someone shows you their true colors, believe them the first time. She showed me exactly who she was in that parking lot. Took me a minute to accept it, but once I did, everything else became background noise. No dramatic revenge, no public call-outs, just boundaries, firm ones. She wanted someone who'd provide a certain lifestyle. I wanted someone who'd love me regardless of lifestyle. We weren't compatible. Simple as that. The inheritance was just the catalyst that revealed what was already there. Would things have blown up eventually anyway? Probably. Maybe when I suggested a modest wedding instead of a lavish one. Or when I didn't want to buy a McMansion in the suburbs. Or when I said I'd rather invest money than spend it on status symbols. Better to find out at 2 years than at 10 years with kids involved. So yeah, that's where things stand. Single, financially secure, living my life. My parents are happy. I'm happy mostly. The ex is presumably off finding someone who better matches her requirements. Everyone gets what they wanted in the end, I guess. Except she doesn't get what she wants anymore because she threw it away over a couch and some flannel shirts. But that's not my problem. That's hers.